Now let's talk about the regulation of blood glucose concentration. Alright, as you can see, this is a mechanism involving homeostasis. At normal conditions, our blood for every 100 cm3 should have around 90 mg of blood glucose. However, during activities such as after fasting or after a strenuous exercise, our blood glucose level will decrease because sugar is used to release, for the production of energy, to release energy within our body. And after a carbohydrate-rich meal, it will be expected to increase. You'll be expected to increase, right? So, from these two activities, we will expect two changes. When blood glucose level decrease below the optimum level, alpha cells of the isolate of Langerhans in the pancreas will produce glucagon, alright? Because glucagon will help to increase the blood glucose level again through a series of events. We will talk about it very soon. And likewise, when your blood glucose level increases, your beta cells right now, no longer the alpha cells, your beta cells in the isolate of Langerhans in the pancreas will produce insulin. So this table shows you the series of events. Let's talk about insulin first. For insulin, first of all, it will increase the permeability of cell's membrane to glucose. So rate of glucose uptake by cell from blood plasma will increase, right? You want more glucose to go into the cells. The liver and muscle cells will also be stimulated, and the conversion of glucose into glycogen will increase. And this glycogen eventually will be stored within these two types of cells. There will be increased oxidation of glucose during tissue respiration. And what is the outcome? What the body wants to achieve is the blood glucose concentration to be brought back to normal levels again. How about when blood glucose level increases? Glucagon will be released by the isolate of Langerhans. Then liver and muscle cells will be stimulated, and glycogen will be converted into glucose, because we want this glucose to get back into the blood to increase the blood glucose concentration. Liver will be stimulated, and it will convert the fat storage within into glucose, likewise for amino acids. Now take note, amino acids, we do not store them in our body. So we are talking about the amino acid which is found at the liver at a point of time. Alright, but take note, there is no storage of amino acid in our body. The liver will also be stimulated to convert lactic acid into glucose. So as you can see, alright, glucagon, the main effect is to convert the other nutrients, be it glycogen, store, fats, or amino acid, into glucose, because you want this glucose to get back into your blood, to increase the blood glucose concentration. So this flowchart will show you the series of events, alright, through pictures. Let us just take a look at the effects of insulin first, right? So when blood glucose level increases, when it becomes high, beta cells of pancreas will be stimulated to release insulin into the blood. Insulin will then cause the uptake of glucose in body cells and muscle cells to increase. And after glucose has gotten into the liver and muscle cells, it will be converted into glycogen for storage. Now, after glucose has been removed from the bloodstream, the blood glucose level is expected to decrease, and the stimulus for insulin release will no longer be as much. Alright, it will diminish. And similar events will occur for glucagon, as you can see. So this table shows you that our body will actually continuously release insulin and glucagon into our bloodstream. Alright, so it is a periodic event. When the blood glucose level is high, more insulin will be released. Alright, when the blood glucose level decreases, then glucagon will be released. So at any one point of time, there will always be release of insulin and glucagon, just differences in their relative amounts, alright, based on the blood glucose level. So misconception, increase in blood glucose level will stimulate the pancreas to secrete insulin through the brain. This is not true. Why? Because brain is never involved in the process. The stimulus will act on the pancreas, and it is also the pancreas which is responsible for the secretion of both insulin and glucagon. Another misconception, one action of insulin is to catalyze the conversion of glucose into glucagon in the liver. Alright, but take note, when we see the word catalyze, it means speeds up the chemical reaction. What speeds up the chemical reaction? Enzymes. But in this case, insulin is not an enzyme, it is a hormone. So this statement is not right. Next question. Let's say when a child is frightened by a loud noise, he runs quickly to his mother. What substance helps this respond? Pause the video, think about the answer, and then get back again. Okay? So the answer should be A. Very straightforward. Adrenaline. Adrenaline, which is released during states of emergency, will cause for this behavior. Next, how is the concentration of glucose in blood regulated? Let's take a closer look at the table. How is it regulated? So when blood glucose, let's take a look at option A. When blood glucose concentration decrease, pancreas stimulated and it will secrete glucagon. Is this right? Yes, this is correct so far. Liver converts glycogen to glucose. Is this correct? Yes. And blood glucose concentration will proceed on to increase. And after blood glucose concentration has been brought back to normal, pancreas will reduce the secretion of glucagon right now because the stimulus has diminished. Another practice questions, so please include it in the foolscap paper that you will submit during the next lesson. So far we have talked about the addition point of how blood glucose concentration is regulated. Next up, diabetes mellitus, in which you have already done some research on it in the previous class.